Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to be explaining data types and variables. They're not too hard actually, and we should start. So variables are boxes that are stored in the computer's memory. In other words, RAM. And each box has a name and value. This is my very simple program. It doesn't do anything. So ints, which are integers, are whole numbers, and we can come here and say x. So int x is equal to 7, and a float. They're decimal point numbers, the ones that have decimal points. So then, like 1.5, and then when you're define. I need to give it a name. And when you're defining them, you just type in the type, the name, and then if you can do this in two ways. You either do it on 2 lines like this, or you can just do it like this, very simple, in one line. So you have the data type, the name, and then equals, and then the value. For floats, you want to write f after your value, so that it doesn't become a double. We'll explain that in a little. So cars or chars, whatever you want to say, are basically a single character. So car C is equal to, and then single quote, to B or 7 or A, or even semicolon. You know, almost every key on the keyboard. So we'll just set it to H now. And a double, it's not too different from a float, except the range is larger. So in mathematics, the numbers are all it's infinite. It's like the numbers are infinite, but in programming, in computing, there's a limit. So floats have a smaller limit than doubles, and you don't need to type in f when you're giving it. So double, when you're giving it the value. So double D is equal to 3.678. Okay. A bool, short for boolean, it has two possible values, true or false. So is D positive would be equal to true in this case. Okay, now naming variables. And this, by the way, if you don't know what it is, it's a comment. They're ignored by the compiler. So it's basically a quick note to from the programmer to you, from the programmer to the another programmer, or the programmer himself. You can also use them to comment out code that you don't want to use temporarily. It's seen as bad practice by some programmers, but I find it fine. So naming variables, you can't contain spaces in your names. So with this, yep, if I run it, it would give me an error. Let's run it. Error expected. Yep, it's not exactly what you would expect, but you can't use spaces in variables. You can't start them with digits. So if I came here and then int 8 var is equal to 8, 9, let's say, even if you think that's perfectly fine, it's not. This time it's going to say expected unqualified ID 8. So yep. And you can use underscores. So if you want to say my, and then you can say var instead of a space, because spaces are not allowed. And that used to be that's what they used to use before. But now usually they use camel case. and that's what I use a lot. That's when you have the first word, the first letter of the first word is lowercase, and so is the rest, obviously. And then the words after it, their first letter is always capital. So my awesome var. It has variables. They are very important. What you call them. There's something called IntelliSense on Windows, I think. It might be, it's not as accurate on Mac, but on Windows, there's some, on Visual Studio, there's something called IntelliSense. It's a system. So if you have my awesome var, so you just have to type the first few letters of it, and then just it's to give you a little list of what there is. So I can do my awesome var is equal to 8 plus x. So now that will be equal to, so you can actually do mathematical expressions with variables. Like you can use plus, minus, times, and slash, which is divide. And you can also have modulus. You might not be familiar with it, but yep, you will explain it in another video. So you can have modulus as well. So if we type this, if we print this to the screen now, so we can just do my awesome var instead. My awesome var is equal to, and then a space, and then my awesome var will be focusing on C out and C in another video. We'll be focusing on another video, maybe in the next video. So if we do that now, it should print 15 to the screen. Yep, my awesome var is equal to 15. So that's variables and data type. It's not very hard. We'll go a little bit more into data types now. So size, well, not maybe, so data types, you can have loads. There's even things like, so let's use a multi-line comment. It's multi-line comments are just so that you can do it on multiple lines or paragraphs or blocks, whatever you want to call it. So data types, you can have unsigned or signed, ints, and you can have short and long. These are not exactly data types, they're modifiers. An int or a float or a char, or all those are data types. But const, for example, I'll cover it in another video though. But yep, those are modifiers. So that's it for variables and data types. So I'll see you in the next video, which will be about input and output.